So are you tired of all the dark superhero team-ups lately? Don't worry, because now we got Supergirl and The Flash. Hey everybody, this is David, and today I'm going to be talking about Supergirl episode 18, World's Finest. And if you don't know, that World's Finest is kind of a little play on that's usually the title that's associated to Batman and Superman whenever they cross over, because let's face it, they are the world's finest when it comes to superheroes. But unfortunately, they want to be fighting each other right now, so the world's finest have to be Supergirl and The Flash. And I'm gonna say this was a nice change of pace after the Daredevil and Punisher throwdown and the Batman v Superman throwdown. Two very dark, superhero team-ups that happened recently. And so, yeah, this was a really nice change of pace of all that, getting away from that, especially since we're going to be getting back to the more dramatic stuff, most likely with Captain America Civil War, with Iron Man and Captain America fighting. So this was nice little, no fighting involved with this team up. It's just an all-out good, fun time. So what do I think about this episode? First of all, I gotta say, I'm really enjoying Supergirl. I think the show started off pretty good, and I think it's been progressing really nicely as the episodes go by, especially now that we're nearing the end of the season. Like, there's 2 more episodes left, I believe, after this. So, it was really fun. I'm gonna say it straight off the bat. It was really fun seeing Barry teaming up and interacting with all these characters on this show. I think that was definitely the highlight of and I knew it was going to be, because something that the creators of this show, as well as Arrow and Flash and Legends of Tomorrow, one of the fun things is seeing the characters interact with one another, seeing characters from one show interact with characters of another show. The Flash and Arrow crossovers are usually some of the highlights of those respective shows. And this is no exception. I think this is definitely a highlight of this season of Supergirl. I'm kind of sad that we're not going to see Supergirl on Flash, but who knows? There's always next season. We know Supergirl's coming back next year, or later this year when it comes back for season 2. And Flash is coming back for season 3. And, Grant Gustin and the producers have also said they wouldn't mind doing another crossover again next season. Maybe even with Arrow or the Legends of Tomorrow. Who knows? So, yeah, seeing Barry interact with Team Supergirl, I guess, was a lot of fun. I like seeing that interaction, especially the interaction with Cat Grant. I thought she had some funny one-liners going on towards them, especially the little inside joke to the CW when they were all standing there in front of her, and she says a comment like, you all look like some cast from the CW. I thought that was a nice little, hit to the CW, even though the CW let them use Grant Gustin for this episode. It was really funny. There were a lot of funny moments. I kind of wish throughout the episode that, Kara's sister and John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, would have been in this episode. They had to leave in the last episode. They had to go away somewhere and be on the run because they're fugitives now. But I would have loved to see, especially Martian Manhunter, with Supergirl and the Flash. It would have been like 3 superheroes all together. It would have been really cool. I was okay with the Jimmy being a little bit jealous of Barry because, him and Supergirl Kara have a little bit of, common interests, I guess. They're saving the world together. They're both superheroes, so we get a little bit of that. And seeing Jimmy a little bit jealous, it kind of goes back to Lucy, she even points it out to him. So now you know how it feels, because that's how I kind of felt. And once again, I know I said this I don't review every episode of Supergirl like I do with Flash or Arrow or Legends of Tomorrow. But since I'm here doing it again, I'll refresh your memory if you haven't seen my Supergirl reviews. This actor, he's doing a great job. I think it's not the actor that's the problem, but to me, he just doesn't feel like Jimmy Olsen. When I think of Jimmy Olsen, I think of the geeky kid with the camera, and to me, he feels even a little bit too old to be Jimmy Olsen. But for what it's worth, I like the character. But if you told me it was Jimmy Olsen, it doesn't feel like Jimmy Olsen to me. That's just me, though. But as a character, I like him. I think he's a good character. Of course, we also have two villains in this episode, Livewire and Silver Banshee. You know, Silver Banshee, this is kind of like her origin episode. We're seeing her become this villain, even though it was kind of weird how she became it because, okay, she got these powers. They didn't really explain to us how she got these powers still. At least I didn't catch it. They just manifest just like that. I have no, she was like getting visions, and then Livewire said, "Oh, if you're gonna help me, you're gonna have to look different. You can't go around looking normal." And so the next second we see her looking like that, and I'm like wondering, okay, so what she put on makeup and what? I don't understand how her costume just came to be. Is she a dead zombie or what is she? I don't know. So the way she became Silver Banshee seemed very rushed and very lazy. That's my only my real big complaint about the episode. I have another complaint coming up. The final fight was really good. I liked the final fight with Flash and Supergirl teaming up against Silver Banshee and Livewire. I thought it started off really good, but then comes this helicopter part where Livewire is about to, she shoots electricity at the helicopter and it's about to come down, but Supergirl protects it. There's an audience there watching this fight going on, with these two heroes, and the audience that's watching starts to stick up for Supergirl, and this is where it started to get a bit cringeworthy for me, a little bit cheesy, because I was enjoying it until I wanted the focus to be on Flash and Supergirl, and instead they had to get the storyline that's been lingering a little bit, where the city doesn't really trust Supergirl anymore because of the red kryptonite incident that happened 2 or 3 episodes ago. And so now they kind of ruin the Flash and Supergirl team up moment by getting civilians involved. And I was like, I get it, but I feel like this could have been saved for the next episode after Flash leaves, I feel they lost the focus of the Supergirl and Flash team up. And it didn't even seem like the people around them were surprised that this new hero was here all of a sudden, saving the day, helping Supergirl, kicking some ass. They were all accepting it. It's like, oh, Supergirl's here. Don't worry about the guy in the red suit. That's how I felt. I'm not saying the whole episode was bad, but that scene to me felt a little cheesy, and they could have held it off until next week's episode, which it looks like, Kara's gonna have to save the whole city next week anyways, so why not save it for next week's episode? Who knows? So now that we get to the ending, Supergirl helps Flash get back to his time, or his Earth, because, he came from another Earth. They explained that early on in the episode, which was cool, which kind of makes me wonder, where does this episode for the Flash, we know where it takes place for Supergirl, but where does this episode take place in the Flash? Now, Barry had some sort of a device on his crest, and I never seen that device before, but I'm going to guess it's going to play into tomorrow's episode of The Flash. So we're going to have to check that out. I don't remember if that device was seen in any other episode previous to this one on The Flash, but I'm going to guess, if we didn't see it yet, someone remind me, if we didn't see that device yet that was on his crest, most likely we'll probably see it tomorrow, and that's how it will tie into Supergirl maybe. Or maybe they'll just never explain it at all where this episode fits in. So I hope they do explain where the episode does take place, because I'm very curious about that. And with that being said, guys, I am going to say I enjoyed this episode quite a lot until the very end, where they kind of got the civilians to do that. And Silver Banshee had me wondering, other than those two big ones for me, I really enjoyed the episode, and I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. I really had a great time, made me laugh throughout. I thought there were some really funny moments, some great character interactions. I'm hoping to see another crossover next year. I hope this happens again next year, or next season, because it was a lot of fun. And I was thinking throughout the episode, I wonder how Oliver would be with Supergirl. Would it be like Superman and Batman, where like you got a light superhero and a dark? It would probably be something similar to Barry and Oliver, right? Where it's a lighter toned hero teaming up with a darker toned hero. But in this case, instead of a male, it's a female. So how would Oliver react to that? And an alien for that matter. So, because in Flash and Arrow's world, there are no aliens. But in Supergirl's world, there clearly are. I also did like that little moment where Barry was looking for Cisco and Star Labs and Caitlin. I wonder if he looked for Felicity too, because I'm sure that's somebody that could have helped him. But they didn't. He didn't. I don't think he said Felicity. So, but he did say Central City does exist in their universe. So that's pretty cool. That kind of leaves a little thing open for maybe, who knows? Maybe there is a Barry Allen on this Earth, but he didn't mention if there was or not. So that would be something interesting to explore, maybe in a future crossover. Who knows? But yeah, guys, I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. Tell me what you thought of this episode. And do you think Oliver or the Legends of Tomorrow, any of them, should cross over to this episode? And with that being said, guys, I'm going to end it here. And until next time, I hope you join me with my Flash review tomorrow. I also do Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow. So until then, take care.